Now, for starters, Jen is a bully. She is a bully. She has been harassing me every day for I don't know how long, 20 plus years. So you do the math. But every day she'd follow me home. Every day she'd follow me to school. Every day she'd follow me to the grocery store. Every day, like around the clock. Like it was like clockwork with her. She followed me everywhere I went. She got into cahoots with all the people that I associated with. I mean, I don't like to try to label people, but this was definitely an obsession for sure. But she knew all the people that I spoke to, hung around. She knew all the places that I went to, everything that I did throughout the day. Just hacking into everything, all of my accounts, tracking me down every single day, every minute, every second of every day. And her behavior became so redundant that it got to the point where people started to ask questions about her and her behavior. Like, for example, it was one particular time where, well, I'll just give a little bit of detail about Cass or Andre's house, because Cass and Andre's house are two separate organizations, but they are I don't know what the word is for, the proper word to describe, but they do business together, and because they're on the same block, they help each other, you know like they serve food, clothes, stuff like that. They offer resources to help people get on their feet. And because they're two different franchises, but they are doing the same communal work, they kind of work hand in hand with each other. So if you hear me say Cass or Andre's house, just know that I'm kind of talking about the same area, the same zone. So anyway, basically in that area, they help people who are struggling and who are homeless. I just so happen to be one of those people. And because they help a lot of homeless people, they've kind of let us like dwell there, like sleep there, be there, whatever, like until we get on our feet. And we have to sleep outside. We have tents laid out. Some people just sleep on the concrete, like whatever resources that you have, like if you can afford a tent or if you're lucky enough to have somebody give you one, you have a tent. And if you're not fortunate enough, you can go inside the buildings and try to get a bed, but that's not always guaranteed. So it's scattered. It's a lot going on there, but I won't go into too much detail about that. But what I will say is there was one particular day where I was going to my tent to go to sleep, and Jen followed me to my tent. And now she would do this every day. When I say every day, I mean all the time. Every second of every minute of every hour of every day, she would follow me around, harass me, and get other people involved. Like, she would do this every single day. That is not an exaggeration. I wish it was an exaggeration, but the amount of hell that she's put me through has caused a lot of damage to my health. Because of her behavior, the way she's treated me has caused a lot of damage. So that's why I'm exposing her right now. Because she's responsible for a lot of the sicknesses that I have going on right now. Okay? And she's done this to other people as well. I'm not the only person that she's made suffer. She spends all of her time tearing people down instead of elevating them and helping them for real. Like, the only time she ever helps anyone, or should I say helps, is when she's patronizing them, is when she's trying to control them or love bomb them. You know how narcissists are when they're trying to hoover. That's the only time she ever sincerely offers help. In any other occasion, she's bullying people, she's putting them down, she's putting her hands on them, she's sexually assaulting them. She's not a good person at all. And I was one of the people, before I discovered that her mask was slipping. I was loyal to her because, like I said, she and we grew up together, and I thought she was my friend. I thought she was kind. I thought she was sweet. I thought she was a loving person. A lot of people did. A lot of people thought that she was a loving, sweet, kind person, and she was wearing a mask the whole time. And when people found out the things that she's done, they were very angry. They were outraged. Because how could somebody do that to people that trust you? Like these people, like she had lives in her hand. Like she had people's lives in her hand. Innocent people, good people that went to her and needed her for help, and she shat on them. She disrespected them. I mean, the things that she did, like she would put food poisoning in people's food. You know, she put blood, piss, shit in people's food. And she was one of the she was the leader of the Andres house. I don't know if she's still there now, because she claimed that she was leaving, but you know how some people are when they lie to your face. Well, anyway, at Andres house, she was poisoning a lot of people, and a lot of people got sick, and some people died because of that, because of the food poisoning, because of the lack thereof of resources, because of the malignant neglect that they were receiving from her. She was supposed to help a lot of people, and she refused to. She let them starve to death, die, overdose on drugs, whatever it was. She's responsible for a lot of lives. She's responsible for the death of so many people. It's not funny at all. And she did this intentionally. This wasn't like somebody put a gun to her head or somebody forced her to do it. She had no excuse for the way she behaved. This was all her character. So before I found out that she was this terrible, awful monster, like I said, I helped anywhere I could around Andre's house because I was homeless. I didn't have a job. I wasn't necessarily qualified to get one right away. And so I wanted to kind of make myself useful and help out wherever I could, whether it was serving food, I even offered to cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, to help people, because I want to participate in helping people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going to be there, if I'm going to be a part of a community, and I'm seeing only a few people service, hundreds, thousands of people that are coming there for food, you know what I mean? I want to try to help. That was what I wanted to do. And I wanted to cook so that people can have healthy meals, or at least, if not healthy, not food that has poison or human, bodily fluids in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the food tastes awful, okay? I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I hate to be that ungrateful person, but the food, it tastes awful. It makes people sick. It makes them weak to where they don't have the energy to do what they need to do to take care of responsibilities in life. Because Jen wants to sit there and put bodily fluids in people's food. It's unacceptable. So I offered to cook because the food was bad. I was getting food poisoning. Other people were getting food poisoning, and I offered to help cook. I'm not the best cook in the world, but I'm not going to give people food that's either expired, food that's wet that shouldn't be wet, or food that's undercooked that needs to be cooked longer. And Jen would do this. Like, she would do this intentionally to make people sick. Like, because there was a difference between when she cooked and when other people cooked there. Like, there was a difference. We didn't have no gourmet chefs, and we didn't need them. But Jen, when she was cooking food with people, they were getting sick and dying, and oh, hell no. When other people were cooking there, they weren't sick and dying. Like, the food may not have tasted the best, but they weren't dying. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. Like, her behavior was completely unacceptable.